All right. Welcome, everybody. Super excited to have you all on tonight for our nutrition event. Tonight's event really is just about helping you learn simple ways to upgrade your health with some awesome nutritional health supports, and also just using a simple methodology focused on how to plate up your food in order to thrive and feel your best. So I'll be hosting tonight, and my friends Georgia and Anna, they've jumped on and they'll be talking you through the event tonight. So these guys they just have a wealth of knowledge when it comes to nutrition. So I thought it would be good to get them to speak to you guys tonight because they could explain it so much better than I could. And so I'm super grateful to have them on tonight, and I encourage you guys just to listen in and see what you can take away from this and what you can implement into your daily routines just to upgrade your health and your nutrition. So just to give them a little bit of an introduction. So Georgia is a wellness coach, she's a personal trainer, a mum and a mentor. And Anna has a background in nutrition. She's a teacher, a mum, and she's passionate about helping people in their health and wellness. So super lucky to have these guys speaking with us tonight. So I'm going to pass the time over to Anna now, and she's going to teach you guys how to plate up.
Thanks, beautiful Katie. And you might have to pin me too, my friends. Sorry, as we work through our technical things. Hi, everyone. Very happy to be in front of you. I have to talk. Can you all hear me okay? I have a loud voice, but my children are attempting to sleep, so I'm trying to keep it amicable for everybody in this process. So we'll see how we go. I love talking about how to plate up because I think there's a lot. When I think of nutrition, I like to eat food that makes me feel good, that tastes good, and that doesn't cause stress in my world. Anybody else love that idea? Anybody feel stressed by food sometimes? Like, what should I eat? How much should I eat? I have to admit, like, if you came here for calorie counting, you're in the wrong place because it is not my jam. I do not enjoy it. I believe we should all eat for vitality. So what I'm going to give you tonight is a really simple methodology, a bit of an outline about how you can actually plate up your meal. Just be mindful about what you're putting on your plate so that you're thriving every day and so that you're really servicing three main health systems in our bodies. So we're going to focus on our immune system, our digestive system, and our nervous system. So obviously our immune system is what keeps us healthy, keeps us going. Our digestive system actually is very similar because with your gut health, it's like your intuition. It keeps everything going and functioning properly. I really believe our gut is our brain, to be totally honest. That's strange, but we can talk about that a different day. And then our nervous system is, of course, our brain health, and just basically all the neurons and everything. Our joint health keeps us lubricated, keeps us moving properly. So if those three systems are in order, then we feel really great. And what I love is we can actually eat to support that. So when we talk about how to plate up, in society over the last little while, sort of huge, I don't know, this actually isn't a huge plate. I thought my plates were huge. It's really funny. I'll show you the two plates that I use, but I started to write on this one, and sorry, my children's texts were running out. I did write on my plate. But basically how it's looked for a long time, and I think if you go like for a pub meal or a cannery, we see on the plate that there's often our meats take over the plate. We might have some sort of side on the side. Often it might be processed, it might be pasta, or it might be potatoes, or something like that. And then maybe if we're lucky, we'll have a little side of veggies. But often this is kind of how we've been plating up for a long time. We've been really focused on that protein, and we kind of just have these other things that come on the side that maybe aren't really filling us up. And I don't know about you, and don't get me wrong, I love a good parmy. I am from Canada originally, but I do love a good parmy. But it leaves you feeling heavy. Like, do you ever have a meal and you're like, I actually don't feel good afterwards? And I think that is what we need to take away from our eating. It's like, how can we actually eat to feel good. So our how to plate up methodology wants to flip that on its head, take that majority of what we eat. So get a smaller plate. Must admit, our smaller plates are my children's ones that we write on. So I've had to do this. There is a plate underneath, I promise. And it is smaller, I promise. It fits in there. But basically, we want to flip this where the majority was that sort of meat and processed foods, maybe dairy, wheat, often like bread's taking up a lot of our plate. Sorry, can you see it okay? It's hard for me to see looking at you. So we want to flip that so that 60% of what we're eating is plants, and carbs also have had a pretty bad name. I don't know if anybody has noticed that. Like it's like eat low carb. I truly believe carbs have a bad name because we've eaten so much processed food over the last little while that we've had to minimize our carbs. But if you're eating plants as your carbs, they're actually really good for you. They're light, they are full of fiber, and they're incredible for our digestion. So you really want to focus on 60% plant-based carbs, 30% lean protein, and this one too is one to be mindful of, 10% of good quality fats. Now, if you think about this is just really a whole food diet. So if you think about, okay, well, I don't have a plate that has lines on it, so how am I gonna know? So this is how you're gonna know. Basically, if our stomach is the size of our fist, really, I mean, it kind of expands, but if we're eating a huge plate like this, see how much more food that is. Like, it's like we're eating one way too much. So getting a smaller plate, one, would be my hot tip for you, number one. Two, when we go to eat these things, plants and things, we grind them down. They actually, because of their water component, they go smaller, right? So there's actually not as much of it in there. So it fits into our stomach better. So thinking about your plants, if you look, okay, it's sort of like 2 handfuls of vegetables on your plate. You want to be like, how can I get as many vegetables as possible on that plate? If you think about the protein, when we think about protein, if you're eating a red meat, it's sort of a fist, right? Like it's your palm size. Anybody heard that? Palm size for your red meats. Chicken, they say about a hand, or no, sorry, chicken, they say just with your fingers off, and then fish is a full hand. So that kind of gives you a bit of a portion size. Again, not fully into portion sizing. I think we can eat and just know when we're satisfied. But if we know we're putting really good, beautiful vegetables on our plate and good quality carbohydrates that are really gonna, so that's what's gonna really fuel our immune system. So it's those micronutrients of plants that is going to get our immune system thriving. It's the little vitamins and minerals and everything else that actually get us feeling our best. The lean protein that we choose. So again, this methodology could be, we're not here to say anybody should eat one thing, like, or do a diet or whatever. We want to fit with everybody. So whatever your choice of protein is, that's amazing. But just be conscious of, okay, how much am I having? If I'm doing red meat, if I'm doing chicken, if I'm doing fish, if we're having, you could have tofu, you could have lentils. There's lots of options for really awesome proteins, but just be mindful, it's sort of 30%. It shouldn't be the main part of our food, because what the proteins do with good quality plants and fibers is they break down and they actually really service our digestive system. So we need it to get those enzymes going, to fuel the good bacteria. Like everybody's heard of pre and probiotics. Probiotics are really, ultimately, it's a fiber that goes into your stomach so that your digestive system, all that bacteria in there, has good things to eat. So if we eat great quality fibers, if we couple that with protein, then it thrives and we feel really great. We also feel really light. Like anybody notice in the summertime, it's easier in the summertime. We have a salad and we feel really good. We're like, oh, I ate quite a bit, but geez, I feel good. Am I the only one that feels that way? Like it's a lot different than when you have this big plate of meat and potatoes, right? And I'm not against potatoes. I love potatoes. But again, if on your plate for your 60% of your veggies, think about, instead of filling it with starchy potatoes, starchy vegetables, keep my starchy vegetables to about a handful. Okay, that's your hot tip. Starchy vegetables to about a handful. So that's, your potatoes, even sweet potatoes are pretty high in starch, but just think, okay, great. And the rest is going to be all those other beautiful colored veggies. And then lastly, is just thinking about, how do I incorporate a good quality fat? I think, again, fats have had a bad name for a long time with like low fat, low fat. We need fats. Our brain needs fats in order to thrive, and in order for all of our nervous system to get messages down, in order for our joints to move. It's essential to have good fats. So good quality olive oil, coconut oil, avocado counts. So if you're having these beautiful veggies and you put a nice slice of avocado on there, great. And so usually they say about a thumb size. Hard to determine when you're doing liquid, I know, but just, a drizzle, don't drown your food in oil. It's not going to taste good anyways. But if you have a nice little drizzle on there, you're going to have those good quality fats again, so your nervous system is taken care of. The same can be said. So the fats kind of throw people off sometimes. So seeds also contain good quality fats. Yogurts also contain good quality fats. Like, there's a lot of different things, but it's just starting to be a little bit creative and thinking, okay, if I know I really want to focus on eating to thrive, eating to feel my best, I'm going to focus on really loading up my plate with plants, and then I'm going to give myself some good quality protein, and I'm going to incorporate a fat in there. And then as you're doing it, what I would say is, it's just take little steps. It doesn't have to be all at once. If this is not a way that you've traditionally eaten, that's okay. It's like, how can I do this for maybe one meal a day? And how can you, I think, really be conscious of how you feel afterwards? Because when you start to see, geez, I feel really good, then it's like, oh, I want to do that more. But often we're not even conscious when we're eating to notice, oh, I feel really good, or I feel light, but I'm still moving and I'm still doing all these things. So a few ideas. I'm certainly not, I have 2 small children. Spag bowl is definitely on the meals in our house, but ways that we can upgrade what we're already doing. So when we're thinking about pastas and stuff, one, there's good quality pulse pastas now. So they're actually made of legumes. So if you can have legumes, I would say use those, because what they have in them is protein in them and good quality and good fiber, plant-based fiber. So those are purely plant derived. Likewise, there's really delicious, if you go to Coles, edamame pasta, highly recommend it. It's out of this world. Bit of a different texture, but still delicious. Or you can use traditional pasta, but maybe think about, how can you spiralize, put in some zucchinis or put in some carrots, or do things like that, so that it bulks out the veggie content in your meal. Like, just think, how can I be more creative and actually start adding more veggies to my meal? I always like to put a can of lentils in my bolognese. I promise you won't even notice it, but it's a hot tip if you want to add something and nobody in the family even notices that more plants are in there. So I think when you're walking away, just remember, okay, how can I add these things? When you're thinking about, we're big smoothie lovers. George is going to talk to you just about some upgrades we have integrated with some products, but smoothies are a super easy way in the morning to get lots of plants in you, to get some delicious oats, to get things in you without you even thinking about it. And likewise, I think oats are still a great thing if you're gluten intolerant. Sorry about that. Try quinoa oats or things like that. But then putting a nice dollop of yogurt on there, adding your berries, adding some fruits, adding some nuts. So I suppose when you think about how to plate up, it's like, instead of this mentality of what are we taking away, what can we add? I really want you to question, what can I add to this meal that's going to add more color, more vitality, more veggies or more fruits, so that I feel good. Because I promise you, when you start getting those things in there, it really changes things around. And what can I add? Be conscious of what can I add for good quality protein? What can I add for that good quality fats? Does that sound doable for everybody? Does that sound like, so what it should be is simple, stress less, and just colorful. I think if you can make your meals more colorful, more vibrant, you're going to really, you're going to start to see the benefits in all three of those systems. And I would say now more than ever, we really need to be conscious of that. So I might pass over to my delightful red-lipped friend over there. I wish I had put my lippy on for the occasion. Hi, my friend.
Hello. Thank you and welcome everyone. So yes, everything Anna said is amazing, right? Like plating up your plate like that and trying to do it breakfast, lunch and dinner and trying to get as many fruits and vegetables as we can in our diet, because we know it's good for us and we also know that we want to thrive and feel our best. But in reality, that's hard. It is hard. And as simple as it can be, and we do the hands and we make time and we make like that, there's this much of that and there's this much of that and there's that much of that. Over the day, things get skipped and we've got busy lives and it's hard to prep. Like, can you type a 1 in the chat if you've got children, or if you've got a super busy life where sometimes things go a bit crazy and all of a sudden you've run out the door with a coffee and you haven't eaten breakfast? Because that has been me. I'm a wellness coach and personal trainer, and I love eating well and I love to thrive and I love energy and feeling good. But still, for me, I find it hard to get all of the fruits and vegetables in my diet, as well as the variety, because often we're creatures of habit and we keep going to the same old fruits and vegetables every single time. And then we go to the supermarket and our oranges have come from America, and our grapes, and they've come through traveling and aeroplanes and all sorts of things to get here. So they're already weeks old and they've been gas ripened and they've lost their nutrition. Our soils aren't getting replenished with all the beautiful nutrients that it should have. And so our fruit and our vegetables just doesn't have what it used to have once upon a time when we were growing it in our backyards. And so a lot of people supplement these days, and choosing supplements can be quite hard. Have you ever been to a health food shop? There's like a million choices, and they're synthetic and lab made and they're white and they don't represent any color of food, by what I've noticed. And then I came across the beautiful Juice Plus products that made complete sense to me, because for starters, they look like they're in a capsule and they look like the color of the food that has gone into them. And I know through the research that has been done and the way that they process the fruits and vegetables in there, it's just really gently put into like a big slushy and then dehydrated into this powder and put in these gorgeous little capsules. So this is like a vegetable blend, this one, and it's just got the powders. And then we've got this beautiful omega, which I'll talk a little bit more about. So that would be like your good fat, I suppose. And it's all plant-based. So has anyone had fish omegas before? Because they are gross, mate. They will re-burp up fish for the rest of the day. It is not good, but these are just beautiful. I've used them in a facial before and rubbed them on with the other blend, which we've got as berries as well, with beautiful antioxidants in them as well. And so what we do with these beautiful, and I'll show you, we've got these ones here, and they're all of our plant-based. So it's, they've got things like elderberry and artichoke and cocoa that maybe we don't have every day. Grape, pomegranate, cranberry, blueberry, bilberry and raspberry in just that one. So it's about 30 fruits and vegetables in the blends together, and they're just a beautiful way to bridge the gap and help us to thrive. And so similar to the way Anna's talked about plating up the plate with fruits and vegetables, they work in synergy together really well, because you still get that beautiful nutrients every single day, no matter how busy your day is. And what is great also is that it comes in like a little chew form for kids as well, and you can sponsor children either in your family or someone you know for free, which is an incredible way to support kids and their diet. And their products, because they're just fruit and vegetables, are safe for everyone, and pregnant people can have them. It's really amazing that we get to support families like that in their health and well-being. And so I would love to hear from you, and you can type in the chat or bring yourself off mute. If you can remember what Anna talked about, the 3 systems of health. Do you remember what they are? Anyone type them in? Testing. The nervous system, yep. And so what helps the nervous system is omegas, and then we've got the plants for our immune system, and then we've got a beautiful protein for the for the protein part of our plate. But you know what? It's not just protein. It's got beautiful amino acids, and it's got probiotics and pre and probiotic nature. It's made with mushroom powder. And I had kids over the other day after school, before basketball, and they were like, "Make me a shake, Georgia. They're beautiful." Made them one. I was like, "You'd never guess it's got mushroom powder in it, and pumpkin powder and radish," and rolled off all the vegetables and fruits that are in them. And they were like, "Put it down. Not drinking it. Disgusting." I'm like, "I'm only joking," as if it's got that in there. And they're like, "Oh my goodness. Okay, lucky." I'm like, God, don't tell kids that it could be good for them, because they're going to go right off it. And so I love that it's when they're doing the process of them, that it's just really beautiful, that the way they really harness the nutrients that are in the fruit and vegetables, and that they're picked off so that they're at the peak of ripeness. Because what I never knew before joining with Juice Plus and being a part of that company is that I didn't know that some of our fruit and vegetables are actually the richest that they are with nutrition before they're actually ripe, when we eat them. So that was really amazing. I think when I heard that, I was like, "What? That's crazy." And is anyone juices? Do they do juices? Because all of that beautiful nutrition, when you're putting all of your fruit and vegetables into the juicer, and that pith and things that often we chuck in the bin, is actually really good for us and really important for our digestive health as well. So we've got on these products, there are 38 peer-reviewed studies as well. They're on cardiovascular health as well as DNA repair. There is studies on inflammation within the body, which is just crazy for so many people out there. There are so many gut health issues. And so we've actually got quite a lot of research on our products as well that have all been peer-reviewed, which is amazing, I think. And for me is just, I think the research really backs our products. So I love that. I love that it is like just food. It's like eating. And so it just makes sense to our body. It's what our body knows how to absorb. And it is a non-negotiable for me and my family, which I love. And we've certainly noticed the difference in our life too. So in saying that, I hope that was helpful to you, because I know that sometimes we can have the best intentions of eating well and going, trying to be really good. And then by the weekends, it's let's have a glass of wine and a cheese platter and forget about the 3 whatever on the plate. And that's forgotten until Monday starts again, and we've gone backwards before we've gone forwards. So it's nice to just have that reassurance every single day that we're nourishing our body really well so we can thrive. So I hope that was helpful for you. Thanks so much for having us on here and coming and showing up for yourself as well today. And I hope you got some value. We do have this incredible recipe book here with the most beautiful recipes in it, and also ways at the start where it's got a list of all the foods that are really good. Hang on. In there as well. So with your protein, plant-based carbs and good fats. So we can email you all a copy for turning up tonight as well. If you would like to let Katie know, if you would like that, then she can certainly send the mini version across to you and you have full access if you decide to join at some point. But thank you so much, Katie, for having us on, and I will hand over to you. Oh,
sorry, I'm chatting away and I realize I'm not on mute. All right. Thank you, Georgia. And thank you, Anna. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to teach my clients about nutrition. And the point of tonight was just to teach you and show you ways that to, improve your nutrition. And nutrition can be really simple. And I think so often it gets overcomplicated, and there's so much misinformation out there, and you hear about all these diets and things like that. And nutrition, I believe, is not a one size fits all kind of thing. Nutrition is very personal for everybody's individual needs. And I don't agree that diets and things like that work. And I think my goal as a personal trainer is to teach people how to eat well and how to fuel their bodies, because if we eat well, we're going to feel better in ourselves. It'll help you reach your goals, whether that be weight loss or building muscle or just simply to have more energy. These are just super simple ways to, support your health. And, the products are simple, they're easy, and they're also affordable to implement, and if supporting you to get your products cheaper, is something that you're interested in as well, there are options for that too. But yeah, the goal for tonight was just supporting you in your health and, making sure that you're doing good things for your health, because, I want you guys to feel your healthiest and happiest and, be the best version of yourselves. And I just feel like nutrition goes hand in hand with exercise. And if I can help you in both those ways, I feel like that will really help you guys thrive and just feel so good. So thank you again, Georgia and Anna, for taking the time out. Really learned a lot from you guys tonight, and I really hope everyone else did too. I would love to know what your takeaways are. Feel free to message me, or I'll see you throughout the next week or so, and you can tell me what you think. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys coming tonight, and enjoy the rest of your evening.